Here we are, folks, in eastern Pennsylvania, just across the border from New Jersey, nestled between the Delaware River and the old coal canals where they barge the coal down to Philadelphia. We've got some great players here in a great park, Tinicum Park. It's open and it's also wooded. Who's got the skills to take the 2013 Tinicum Open? Stay tuned, folks, as Disc Golf Monthly starts now. Welcome to another edition of Disc Golf Monthly. We're in Arena, Pennsylvania at Tinicum Park for the 2013 Tinicum Open Disc Golf Tournament. Hello everyone, I'm Carl Cubbage and I'm joined by the legend in Delaware, Jimmy McIlvaine. Jimmy, we're at a great park in Pennsylvania. Not only is it open with manufactured fairways, but there's a lot of great wooded holes on this course, and you can get trouble in the canal that runs along the course.
Yeah, there's some OB here. Mostly Tinicum's known to be open, which is shocking because there really are some wooded holes here, and the wooded holes can really get you into some trouble.
And, this course is great because it's got multiple basket positions, too.
Yeah, when you really want to stretch this place out, it can get really long.
Great. Well, Jimmy, you've played this course before. Tell me what you love about this course and what you don't like about it.
There's not much not to like about it. If you're going to say what I don't like, the one thing is there's not a lot of big hills. Outside of that, this course has just about everything you can think of. Like you said, with the open shots, the wooded shots are very technical. There's a couple little birdie shots in there. But overall, it's just more known as a big course.
And you can use just about every shot here. There's rollers for holes, the forehand, the overhands, just about everything here you can use.
Yes.
Great. Well, Jimmy, I'd like to go down and see the previous round highlights. I want to see what they're doing here before we cover the finals. Let's
go.
Check it out.
Okay, we have Andrew Phillips driving hole 17.
Andrew, the big rip, gets it up high. Near the trees, cutting back. Wow, right there at the basket. Nice shot, Andrew.
Hank Hendry putting on hole 11.
Hank, it almost come out the back, but it stays in.
Bob Graham driving hole 12.
B.O.B. Busted down the fairway. Nice shot, Bob.
Anthony B. putting hole 11.
What a long jump putt. Going, smash into the chains.
Anthony B. driving hole 15.
Where the lefty just throws it nice and flat right down the middle. Look at it breaking back. A little skip. Right there.
Devin Frederick putting hole 10.
Devin with a solid strike right in the middle of the chains.
Terry Gallups driving hole 15.
Look at that barrel roll shot there. Twisted around. Nice roll at the end. He'll have a good look for the 2.
Terry Gallups birdie putt hole 15.
That's the look he's got, and he makes it.
Brian Schweberger driving hole 15.
Schwebby all the way from North Carolina. Throws a nice one down the fairway. Should have easy work of that one.
Brian Schweberger birdie putt hole 15.
And he puts it right in there.
Justin Searsma driving hole 17.
Justin gets that one way up high. Look at that go. Almost puts it in.
Bob Graham putting hole 16.
Bob known for his putting. He could throw a shingle at that thing and put it in.
Mike Carmen drive hole 11.
Mike with a super high Anheuser shot. Look at that twist around. Gets around the tree.
Terry Gallups putting hole 16.
Terry with a nice, smooth, soft putt. In the wind, drops it in.
Steve Brister driving hole 17.
Steve can really drive a disc. Nice cut back. Look at that thing go right to the basket.
Brian Schweber playing hole 16.
Solid. He's happy about that one.
Steve Brister driving hole 18.
Look at that thing. It's up there. Starting to come back. Twisting as he lands in the fairway. Just on the edge, but he'll have no problem with his next shot. And that's it, folks, for the previous round highlights. All right, Jimmy, that was a great previous round highlights. Our cameraman producer, Kevin McGorry, really captured what a great course this is. We got to see some great shots, and they were putting lights out as well.
Yeah, that was really it. If you can hit the shots here, the putting, you can start bringing in birdies like left and right.
Well, Jimmy, let's say you're on the top card, lead card, playing for the win today. How are you going to attack Tinicum?
Probably a little bit different than these guys. I don't throw as far as these guys. I have to play a little bit different game. These guys are all, big throwers, really good putters. My opinion is this is going to be a birdie fest for these guys.
So this may just come down to who does not make a big mistake.
Don't make the big mistakes in the woods. I think it's going to be fun to watch. These are just all four of these guys can throw big. They're all good putters. Like I said, man, if you don't make the big mistake like in the 5 or 6 wooded holes, this could be a lot of fun.
Well, Jimmy, who are the 4 top pros that we're going to follow in this final 18 holes of the 2013 Tinicum Open?
First, we have Hank Hendry with a 50, Steve Breaux with a 50, Devin Frederick with a 51, and Brian Schwaber with a 51.
Well, you said they're all top pros and they're all good players. Tell me a little bit about the players and the dynamics of what we're going to see between these 4 players.
Hank and Steve have been here a lot before. They're 990, 995 rated players. They won a lot of local tournaments. Devin and Brian are a little bit more touring type pros. Schwaber comes all the way from North Carolina. If I were to give anything, I think that might be the separation, is that if Hank and Steve just haven't played as much like around Brian and Devin. Devin is playing hot right now. I mean, really. I mean, his game in the last 2 years is just skyrocketed. And Brian, hey, he's the people's champion. So it should be a really, really good time.
Yes, it should be interesting. Well, what we're going to do before we follow the final 18, folks, we're going to take a quick break. So please stay with us as we follow the 2013 Tinicum Open.
Flip, creating disc golf apparel since 2009. Printed by disc golfers for disc golfers. T-shirts, dry fits, hoodies, towels, and more. Notable designs of the Schwebby Polo and the Matt Oram Signature Edition Heiser Flip Retro. Products available in retail and wholesale with custom printing for your club or event. Visit us on the web or contact us by phone or email. Don't forget to use the coupon code DGM to receive 10% off your order. Register for the upcoming Heiser Flip Open on November 2nd at Tyler State Park. Heiser Flip Disc Golf. Grip it and flip it.
All right, folks, there's the whistle as they get ready to start here. Our final 4 pros. It's going to be a great round to watch here, 18 holes. And you can see we got a tie at the top with 1 stroke difference from the 2 behind. Okay, folks, we're going to start off on basket 1. It's a B-pin par 3, 406 feet.
Yeah, these guys have to decide whether they're going to come on the inside or the outside of this hole.
Hank Hendry. Gets it up there nicely, just off the fairway. Steve Breaux catches an early tree.
I think you try to get that inside route.
Boy, Devin really ripped that one.
And that's how you throw the inside route.
And if you've ever played this course, you know that's a good shot. Right there by the basket. See if Brian can catch that one. That's another big rip there. Twisting around. Nicely done.
A couple of nice shots there.
And Steve, after hitting the tree, see if he can recover and put one close. Steve explodes off of that release there, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's a nice shot from being in there. I mean, this could turn into a disaster hitting that first tree like that.
Hank just getting it close enough to get that 3. Hard at 3 there for Steve. Brian gets his deuce. 3 for Hank, and Devin almost has a drop in. He's not going to have to reach far to get that disc into the chains. All right, so there we go. We're all tied up at 53, Jimmy. Looks like we've got a hot one going on here. Let's see if they can keep it going. We're on to basket 2. This is a C-pin par 4, 595 feet.
Yeah, it's just a chance to air something out.
Slightly uphill here.
With a roller.
Basket's down below. Brian gets that one way up there. The sky roller. Kind of goes off to the left. Good distance, though.
Taking an inside route.
Caught a tree there.
See, I don't have the arm to go on the outside. I do the same thing. You have to hit that inside route.
Steve does the same thing. Comes back out. There's the basket. Makes a good run at it.
That is the advantage of going on the outside. You don't have anything really in your way.
That
Even if you're
street's not
farther,
really
even further out.
The street's not really close, but it's a factor on this hole if you end up turning it over. Oh, caught a tree there. We saw seated Devin's dad, Brian, there. Steve goes to the right. That's going to come back. Well, that's kind of close to the road. Look at that. I almost laugh when I see that. I don't know how I could keep that trot to the hole release all timed perfectly, but Brian does it. Steve inside the 10-meter circle missed.
Heading from about the same distance here.
Nice putt there. Devin.
Good putt. Solid.
All right, he was happy to get that one in.
I don't even.
All right, well, we got 2 birdies, 2 pars. We have Devin and Hank on top. Brian and Steve close behind. As they continue to battle it out, we're on basket 3, C-pin, par 3, 417 feet.
We really want to be careful not throwing it into the trees here.
High sweeping hyzer shot. Not far off. Okay, that's a little closer than Devin's. I say aim for the cameraman. If you're aiming for the cameraman, he's usually in a good spot to get to the hole.
There you go.
Brian sweeps that one out. He's heading that way.
See, it must be nice to be able to throw a hydrant in this. I have to, like, just unload on this.
That looks like that's out far enough and curling back nicely. Wow. Basket's right there.
Nice shots.
Oh, that's a super putt there. Nice shot, Devin. Brian nails his as well. Oh, nice, right down the center.
Make it a star.
Nice
Star frame, that's deuces around, folks. Birdies, no change. Good hole for the four of them. Moving along, basket 4. This is a C pin, par 3, 271 feet.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the first of the wooded holes here.
Slightly uphill. Got the road to their right you got to be careful of. Devin just snakes it through the trees. There's another one. Sneaks through right there at the basket. Brian catches a tree.
Three really nice drives on that hole.
I thought that thing was going to keep motoring, but it just checked up. I used to be able to beat Devin, Jimmy, when he was in his early teens.
I was thinking 10, but, you know.
He's quite a player. Nice finish by Steve. Hank's in there. Good hole. Almost another star frame. 3 birdies in the par. Still a tight grouping, folks. We're on to basket 5. This is the A pin, par 3, 252 feet. Almost in my range, Jimmy. We're getting there.
Getting ready for some cubby aces.
Doesn't look like a lot of effort for them to get there. He's close. This is up on a little bit of a hill.
Yeah, it's actually it plays a little bit farther than
it does.
Yeah, it's uphill, and you have to stick the hill too.
That's cutting back nicely. Wow, drop in there. Nice shot by Hank. Sends it up high, cutting back. Another nice shot. He's in the circle. Brian looks like he swung that one just a little bit wide. It's not that far off, though.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. There's just no.
I'm going to maybe try to practice it, but I don't see me having. I'd probably trip before I get out of my hand. Yeah. All right, Devin gets the putt.
There you go.
Right above the rim.
Yeah, Hank.
No, you're close when you don't even have to take your bag off your shoulder there. All right, 3 birdies and another par. Folks, we're on basket 6. This is the A pin, par 3, 370 feet.
Yeah, I think Brian's going to have to pick it up here right about now.
A long throw over the open field, and they've got to cut it back into the trees. Tree line they're throwing along.
One of the advantages they're having today, too, is it's not very windy. It can get brutal out here. On the
Yeah,
fields.
if you played here in the wind, it can be a rough ride. Nice high cut shot. Not bad at all. Look at that. Steve launches it up for a cut shot himself. Nicely done. That tall grass to the left, Jimmy, is a farmer's field out there. If they go over there, that's OB.
Right.
They'd have to cut it really hard, but it's not that far away from the basket. All right, Brian looks like he's right around the circle there. He can do that.
Yeah, I think he needs this one, though.
He's going to walk it in. He does. He makes it. You know, I would just think with that style, you risk somebody saying, hey, your other foot was already ahead before you let it go. And you could have, oh, look at that. Brian stuck a beautiful one just inside the 10-meter circle. You know what I'm talking about. It could be a little, you put yourself in a position where somebody could say it was a falling putt. Oh, I thought that was in, but the disc flipped over. Tough break for Steve. He could have had the birdie. We would have had a star frame. Tied at the top, Devin and Hank. We're on to basket 7. This is the D pin, par 4, 393 feet. This is a pinball alley, Jimmy. I've hit almost every tree in here. I'm sure somebody is going to be whacking wood. Devin gets an early one.
Yeah, I love this hole though. This is just.
It's fun when you hit the gap.
Yeah.
Get off.
The first time I played this in the
tree there.
First time I played this in the long position was the last time that the Eric C. Yetter was actually at both courses. And I pured this to have one of the hot rounds, and I was like, this is awesome.
I think Brian got straight through without hitting a tree. That's sweet. So you parred it.
Yes. This is yeah.
Wow, there's that ugly. If you hit the tree just right, it goes way left.
Oh, see, this can be the big game changer.
Yeah, it's been open up to this hole. There's no follow the yellow brick road in here. Nice cut shot. Devin gets the roller down.
Yeah, because as small as that gap off the tee pad looks, every other gap is smaller. Once you get off, it's really brutal.
Nice smooth shot, but it just caught a tree coming in. Right, keeps it low, slides it right up. Devin with a high cut. Looks like Steve's got a shot here. Solid putt. Right side chain, sucks it into the middle. Hank with a nice putt there.
So Brian got himself right back into this.
There we go. Hank with a 2-stroke lead with that birdie and the bogey. Folks, we're on to basket 8, C-pin, par 3, 208 feet. We are now in my range, Jimmy. I like to skip this hole. This is a nice hole. Oh, you could see Hank jumped up early and he was going to catch that early tree.
Yeah, when you play here, this hole almost doesn't seem like it fits into the rest of the course.
All right, there's the basket just through those little branches there.
These guys are standing
Steve's
still with
got
a
a
putter
nice
shot.
cut going. Nice cut there. There he is, just to the right of the basket. Wow, there we go. Just beyond the basket. right, Hank, put that one right there. Should have the easy 3. Straddle putt for Brian.
Get up.
Just off the left front rim. Wow, Steve a little frustrated. Didn't even
Wow.
touch metal there.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting an air ball there.
There's Devin and his dad behind him.
There's one.
Nice putt. He's happy about that one. All right, Steve made sure that one went in. Hank
Yeah.
flops it in. Okay, we've got one birdie from Devin, so he tightens it up. One stroke away from Hank. We're on to basket 9. This is a C-pin, par 3, 270 feet. I like this hole.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's going to be more than one birdie on this. I'm still a little bit taken back from
Got
the
to
last
throw
hole.
a high cut shot to the right and bring it back in. All right, you can see the basket off to the left near that SUV. Not happy with that. He knew right away it was going into a tree, Jimmy.
It's a bad feeling.
Well, when you play in this disc golf, you see the lines early. When you see the disc in the air, you just know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Wow, good pump there by Steve. He got great carry of the basket. Heck, he's got to work this one. Nicely done. Center chains for Brian. Devin, nice putt. And that one's in the can, folks. A birdie and 3 pars. We've got a tie at the top. But Brian and Steve are nipping at their heels as we move to basket 10. This is the A-pin, par 3, 309 feet. Devin gets it down nice and low. All right, behind the tree, not too far away.
This is actually a pretty routine shot for most of these guys. Just a rocker, a buzz, or something straight down.
A little bit high, drifting off. That's going to come back nice. There we go. Yep. Oh, just off the top. You had that one measured.
Again.
Schweppe with the run-up putt. Nails it. Wow, hit the top, and sometimes they don't go in. But that one dropped. With Devin, he's just pulling the trigger on those putts.
Yeah.
Almost a star frame. Still tied at the top. We got a great match going on here, folks. We're on to basket 11. This is the B pin, par 3, 401 feet. Devin gets that Anheuser way up there.
This is a tough hole to get to. That is,
You've really got to bend it around.
It is a huge anhyzer.
Really got to get outside that tree. Brian gets the roller down. That's
They
a
don't
nice
keep
shot.
that grass over there cut, I think, just for that.
Hank is up there. He's got some hang time. Tails off back, just off the fairway. There is a roller path the other way, Jimmy.
I was you ready to say that? I'm shocked no
I've
one
seen
went
it
through
done.
the center path, through the center roller. This is 400 some feet straight at the basket. But down to Anheuser, you're probably closer to 500 feet.
Brian, nice touch. Nice jump putt there. Wow, put it close.
They keep the grass here cut in certain areas. I mean, it does look like a ball golf course that way. But if you're trying to throw a roller out on some of these, and you hit that tall grass, you're going nowhere.
Right. Okay, pars around, folks. Still tied. Here we are, basket 12. This is the B pin, par 3, 343 feet. They're throwing towards the canal.
Yeah, you can bring it in quickly here. Especially all these guys. These guys can all throw far enough to reach the canal. So you actually have to tone it back.
There's the tow path, so the canal's just to the right of that. Uh-oh. Swebby's lining up for that big shot. Here it comes. Wow.
See, that's not fair.
Couldn't you do that, Jimmy?
No,
I'd be in traction if I tried that. He's the master of that shot. All right, Hank brings it down. Just under the tree, not that far away. Steve takes it high right, and he should cut back to the basket. Nicely done there.
Nice shot. Yeah, Brian being able to throw a baseball 350 feet just doesn't seem
All right,
right.
Mike's got the OB canal behind him. All right, no problem. Devin from the tow path. Wow. That's big there, Jimmy.
Yeah, Devin's feeling those putts right now.
Brian pours it in. Jimmy, as you look down that canal, this next hole, that canal plays the left side. And there's lots of trees in there. All right, we got 3 birdies and a par. Devin with a 1-stroke lead in the driver's seat right now as we move on. Let's see what they've got. But, folks, before we do, we're going to take a quick break. So please stay with us for the finals of the 2013 Tinicum Open.
Nanotechnology, building atom by atom.
Pennsylvania's Nanofabrication Manufacturing Technology Partnership is preparing Pennsylvanians for the jobs of tomorrow. As your governor, I want to encourage young people who are still in school as well as workers who want to gain new skills to consider the educational opportunities available through the partnership.
Call 866-NANO-4ME. On the web, nanoforme.org.
All right, folks, we're on basket 13, C-pin, par 4, 495 feet. Jimmy, this is a tough hole here.
Yeah, this could be treacherous. But it's a fun hole.
Devin down the middle, catches an early tree. Up. Almost the same tree for Brian.
3 for 3.
Almost got that same tree. See if Hank could get through there. He catches a different tree, but puts it. Oh, I think he might have skipped out. Devin's second throw. Oh no, another tree early. Jimmy, what do you do when this starts happening?
Nothing. I mean,
that's 3 trees and he's not out into the fairway yet.
Right. One of the things you can't do.
Steve is out.
One of the things you can't do is try to make up shots.
Because you just end up getting a little more trouble.
Yeah.
Devin's fourth. Starts it over the canal, brings it back, but it just cuts a little too far over. He's going to have some work there.
Yeah, he should be able to make it.
Hank was out of bounds on his drive that hit that tree, and he's on his 3rd shot here. Throws a nice shot cutting back.
You know what? That wasn't that bad, though. I mean, if you're looking at it, you know, the other guy's hacking around in the woods.
My Champion Edition Valkyrie Blue is in that from about 10 years ago. If anyone finds it, let me know. Nice shot there by Steve Bro. Brian just gives that nice little motion and sends it right to the basket. All right, Devin with his 5th shot. He could use it. And can this one. Oh, no, Jimmy, that. Devin's OB on number 7.
Nice
wow,
putt,
that was a
though.
good recovery from down there.
Still 7, though.
Hank catches the top rim. And Steve goes off the rim, too. Well, we've got 2 bogeys and a triple bogey.
Wow.
Devin's only 1 stroke off the lead. Now we've got Hank and Brian fighting it out. We'll move on to basket 14, C-pin, par 4, 440 feet. And it's exciting here, Jimmy. It's anybody's game.
Yeah, I mean, that last hole just changed
that was a game
things up
changer.
big.
You know, Jimmy, Brian has worked his way up to the top of the card after being at the bottom of the card after hole 6. So he's marching along.
Right, he made up 3 strokes through that section.
I heard an early tree there for Steve. This is a nice alley to throw down. It's well defined on both sides by rows of trees.
Yeah, I'm always surprised that everyone thinks of Tinicum and they only think of the open holes. I mean, really. I mean, everyone thinks, oh,
I
it's the big.
I love the wooded holes.
They have
at
some,
Tinicum.
you know, yeah. There's a lot of wooded holes here.
Devin goes right down the alley, catches a branch, slides down. Basket's out there in the middle of the sunlight. Hank's going for that high cut shot. Nice and close. Brian with that effortless approach. Steve between the trees. Wow, made a run at it, just fell short. Brian here to get his birdie.
Oh, Devin.
After that 7, that's a tough break. Devin's been putting lights out. All right, folks, we've got a tie at the top, Brian and Hank. Moving on to basket 15, A-pin, par 3, 313 feet. Nice smooth shot.
Yeah, we're really in that spot now. You can't make up anything anyway. You just have to get your birdies and hope someone else doesn't.
Air bounce. Right there where Brian is. Steve slides that one right up.
Yeah, 3 nice shots. Devin needs to get this back right now. He's got to stay in contention. There you go.
I'm going to have to look at that in slow motion, Jimmy.
I'm shocked he does it. Brian's such a good putter from right on that line. To add that seems like he's adding something
Some extra
else.
variables in there. Nice putt.
Like I said, he's really
Great
a good
straddle
putter,
putt.
you know,
Yeah.
like on that line. So I don't really.
Well, there is a lot to be said about having your momentum going
Oh,
towards the target.
absolutely. A lot of guys do it.
I just don't think I could get the timing. Nice putt. Birdie by Devin. Looking to make a charge and come back.
I can't believe Devin got the only birdie.
Folks, we're on to basket 16. C-pin, par 3, 453 feet. We've still got some holes left. It's still
Right, and
anybody's
that's
game.
what I was telling you. You can't try to make them up. You just have to get your birdies, and you know.
Devin gets a nice roller down. Just off the fairway. Roller from Brian. It's off the fairway, but it had some good distance. Hank just goes for the backhand throw.
These are all nice drives on this hole.
Steve goes with the roller.
And the roller on this hole is a little bit different. It's not so much as distance.
Well,
You're just trying to
almost
make
got a
sure you get
spectator.
out safe. You don't hit the low branches and stuff.
Steve from another tee box makes a good run at it. Right there.
Yes, sir. Good layout.
He could have done the run-up putt on that one.
I think that putt is like, I think he's using it for a specific spot.
There might be a range that he really
Right.
wants to use that for. All right, pars around, folks. We're coming down to the wire. We've got a couple of holes left. Brian and Hank at top. We're on to basket 17, A pin, par 3, 350 feet.
Once again, this is right in all these guys' range. There's nothing here. You just have to make your shots over and over again. There you go.
Well, we know Devin's got his birdie there.
Now, for me, this is everything I've got. For these guys are just, you know, like I said, it's just a nice hyzer shot.
Well, everything I got is still too short, Jimmy. Nice shot there. Cuts across the basket. Steve pumps that one wide. Coming around the backside. All right, Hank's second throw.
Nice putt.
Steve's in. Brian's got to make this putt to stay tied with Hank. Pressure's on. No pressure at all. Pours it in. There we go. We've got a tie at the top going into the last hole, and Devin's only one stroke out. Let's see what happens on this finishing hole. We're at basket 18, A pin, par 4, 760 feet. This is a good hole to finish on, Jimmy.
This is a great. This is one of those holes that I think defines Tinicum as being an open course. This is it right here.
It starts downhill, then it goes uphill. It's got a well-defined mowed fairway just straight down the middle.
Yeah, they love mowing this fairway. This is no OB or anything, but they make like a little 30-foot, wide fairway here.
A big rip by Brian. He turns it over. Hank with a good-looking shot there. That should find the center. It does.
Steve's going to have to be careful of someone, the second card, catching him now.
Gets a high one out, twisting back. And he's
Nice
in the
drive.
fairway. All right, that's heading a little to the right. Yeah, I missed the landing on that one.
If Brian parks this, it's going to put some more pressure on Hank.
And he cranks one high and right, cutting back. And
there you go.
He's there, Jimmy. Love to see Devin can this one from way out. I believe this hole has been two'd before, Jimmy.
I'm sure it has. I mean, might have to throw one of those big skip shots in, though.
Good looking view there of Steve Disk coming in.
Because, see, even on this hole, there's enough trees there to keep you out of your putting range. Yeah, so Hank's going to need to make this to stay tied with Brian, most likely.
Sends it high, cutting back. Oh, Chuck caught the chain.
At least he didn't leave it short, and that's the thing that will be, that's a heartbreaker if you leave that short. He hit the chains and gave it a good run.
Devin with a good run in. Oh, he cans the
Nice
putt.
putt.
Nice finish, Devin.
So that's going to leave Devin.
That
and
moves
Hank
Devin
tied.
into second, a tie
Right.
for second.
There you go.
All right, Brian for the win right here. Pours it right in there. Well, look at that. We had a great finish here. They're all close. Brian takes the event. Devin and Hank were tied for second. Steve gave it a good run. We're going to take a quick break and we'll wrap it up here, folks. Stay with us. Well, Jimmy, I think our audience got to see a great round of disc golf, final 18 holes. Devin with a charge of 13 birdies. He was putting lights out. A little trouble with the bogey, but when he got to hole 13 with the trees and the OB, that just kind of hurt him. He tried to charge back.
Yeah, there's no coming back when you have something like that happen. I mean, that's probably where he made the mistake was he just kept trying to get out and trying to make something happen instead of just taking it. The triple bogey definitely.
Wow, with that on his card, he's got the event. But there's some other stories. We've got Hank was pretty much at the top of the card the whole round.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really look at it because you're thinking about Devin's birdies and Devin's mistake. You're looking at, Brian, is he missing the putt or is he making the putt on those, circle putts. But Hank was there the whole time, and he was probably the most consistent golfer.
It was only Brian's birdie at the end that took him the one stroke off his game. And then Brian made a charge. He was last on the card, starting at hole 6, and just made the charge going all the way to the end.
Yes, Brian is a really good golfer, and he proved it right there.
Well, I think we saw some outstanding golf here at Tinicum. I hope that gets everybody charged up to get out of the course and play. Well, that's all we have for this month's edition of Disc Golf Monthly. I'm Carl Cubbage, joined by my co-host, Jimmy McIlvaine, for Disc Golf Monthly, the show that takes you one step closer to the sport of disc golf.
Thanks for running the event. It's great to have 2 one-dayers in the same weekend. I'm on a quest this year, and this is up there with part of it, and I appreciate it. Thanks. But thanks to Innova, my disc manufacturer is awesome, and Spike Heiser, and Scott Lewis and Heiser Flip.